welcome to the first official in-season week one. Well, yeah, week one. We'll call it week one, even though we're going to have some more. But week one of the GardenStateHSWrestling.com podcast, Near Fall. I am your host, Donald J. Brower, and I am thrilled to be bringing this to you here. We're going to be on our regularly scheduled time. We have it here, primer for the week, just kind of going to recap a little bit for some of you who are joining us for the first time. We're going to be recapping the results from last week, just kind of updating where people are, highlighting some big matches, and just kind of talking about what we're going to be doing. Before we get into that, we got to get the bills paid. What the big sponsor, Dan Warnikoff, Champion Athletes. This is the man you want to talk to if you want to get better on the mat. You can lift weights, you can run, you can train. You need the fuel to be better. Dan Warnikoff helps you with that. Pat Glory credits him with being one of the best wrestlers. For those who don't remember, you see Pat Glory at Princeton now. Pat Glory made the state finals his sophomore and freshman year, but lost. He credited Dan with his nutrition to help him have that energy and that go, and he still uses Dan to this day. So Dan Warnikoff, Champion Athletes, thank you for all you do for us, but check him out. Now, before we get into the schedules, give you a little updates on some stuff. First, thank you for the positive feedback on the videos. I had all the preview videos up. It actually took, wasn't as long as I thought it would. Excuse me. I actually did them, when I looked at it, I actually added 14 teams without really dropping anybody, because everybody, even if they didn't get an official filming session, they still had something done about them. So to get that all done and caught up, it was a little tedious, but it actually felt shorter than previous years when I was only doing certain stuff. I don't know why. Maybe it's I'm excited about being in Passaic County and enjoying that and seeing all the kids. Maybe it's, you kind of get in a rut after a while and adding it in. So they're up, positive feedback. I got some people busting my chops about certain predictions I made. Obviously, if I knew how everything was going to go, you think I'd be picking wrestling? I'd be in Vegas getting those right numbers. Looking at some of the football scores this weekend, I would have been losing my pants, my shirt, and everything. But those are up. So thank you. Please check them out. We'll be updating the schedules. As of right now, the first week of action should be updated. I just have a couple more schools to input where they finished in the tournament. I'm waiting on one or two schools to get back to me, but we should be updated. I'm waiting on a dual meet from Friday night that I know happened. I'm just trying to figure out how it finished. I've gotten a score. I'm just trying to see how it was related criteria-wise. So once I get that, that'll be updated. We also, with the way we're going with the filming, we're going to be out we're going to be filming Sunday, out Monday morning once we get everything done. So we'll also have that. We're not going to have a wrestler of the week this week. I'm going to start that with next year, just because a lot of teams aren't really at their right weights yet. Guys are dropping, there's certification issues. I don't want to, take anybody and say, hey, you're going to be wrestler. There's going to be some wrestlers I talk about who had really, really good weekends this weekend starting off the season. So they're going to be talked about. There's going to be no official wrestler of the week. And I'm going to go over a little something I kind of decided to do this year as far as standings go. I know a lot of people saw when I did it the last few years, I would cover different areas, but realistically, my standings were really just the NJAC, for example. Well, what I'm going to do this year, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to have a top 10 Morris. I'm going to have a top 10 HWS. I'm going to have a top 10 Passaic. Now, when that comes to year-end awards, I'm going to see how I'm going to work it. I'm trying to figure out the proper way, seeing as how in that situation, half of Warren and all of Sussex are in the NJAC. So I'll figure that out as we go, but we're going to be doing the rankings by counties just so everybody gets an idea and we get the names out there. But I had mentioned talking about some, what happened this past week. Let's get right to it. A really good slate of action we had. Some good matches to start the season. Snow weather kind of played a little bit of a factor in some of them. Schools got, there were some postponements, but looking at the Big North, I mean, Clifton, Wayne Hills kind of showing where they started off. The biggest surprise for me from the Big North, honestly, from Friday's action, I knew PCTI was good. It was just I hadn't seen. You kind of hear things when they graduate a great class like they did. So I'm really excited, with seeing that they're going to kind of be legit. So, excuse me, little tickle in the throat. But I'll explain what we did this weekend. You'll know why my throat sounds a little strange. But back to PCTI, it's good to see that, where they hang. They beat West Milford 52-24. I think they're still here to stay. I think, people kind of hyping up the PCTI bandwagon ending, I think, are premature with that aspect. I think that'll be interesting. But, we look at some of the other matchups. The Belvedere losing to Bangor, PA, 54-24. That's always a nice little rivalry match. I know Coach McIntyre used to coach there. Was with the program, stuff like that. So very, nice little matchup there. And I think that's one of those rivalry matches. They get it out of the way early. I wish they had it a little later in the season because you like to see those later on, kind of having that before, almost like a preseason homecoming type thing with that before. But let's head to Saturday. Couple of the tournaments that I was really impressed with some of the showings at. Start the Dover Holiday Tournament. Roxbury finished first. West Milford second. Lenape Valley fourth. Really impressive showing by Roxbury. Same with West Milford. It's always a nice tournament. Coach Dodd taking over in Dover this year. I'm sure had it run well. Everybody was telling me how great it was done. So, that's a nice little start for Roxbury. Kind of showing people and maybe even giving me a heads up, hey, we're not, we're not forgotten. So heading out to Del Val, the Wendy Pandy Lake tournament. Del Val wins, finishes first. Voorhees fourth. Del Val always puts on a great show out there, and they bring some great teams out there. So another nice tournament. Clifton Mustang Classic. Clifton cruised to that. Won by nearly 100 points over the second place team. Second place team was Vernon. Good start for Clifton. They got some real talented wrestlers who can get some individual success, and I think Clifton can make a run at some stuff. So it's nice to see them, coming out of the gate strong, winning their home tournament. Another tournament team winner that I have kind of on my radar this year. We're going to be covering them a little bit. And I'm going to be talking about some of the upcoming coverage matches, we have coming up soon. It's a Caldwell tournament. Warren Hills cruises to the first place win. Warren Hills was actually at the Battle of the Bayonne Bay tournament last year. There were issues with that. We'll talk about the Battle of the Bay in a few. They win. Kittatinny finishes second. Randolph fifth. PCTI, who I was just talking about, they won the Garfield tournament. Finished first. Hawthorne was third. No places at the Southern Classic, but High Point Mount Olive had some really good representation down there. A couple winners. It was really good for them. Excalibur tournament. West Morris finished third, but just finished half a point behind Wyoming Seminary. So big win for them. And Michael Campanaro won his weight, so big win for him. Now, a couple of the other big area schools we were talking about. King of the Mountain, Phillipsburg finishes fourth. Nice little run out there. But Beast of the East in Delaware. You want to talk about? I called it. Listen, I'm not making a prognostication here. I kind of understood where Del Barton was. Del Barton won the Beast of the East. So, I mean, that's huge for them because even the last few years, they would finish, they were seventh, ninth. For them to go out there and win. And realistically, you're not surprised by that. And I wasn't. But to me, when you look at it, congratulations, obviously the whole team. But the two I have to say really stepped up were Alessio Peretin and Lou Sergio, who won back-to-back titles for them. And to win that tournament is such a grind and a prestigious thing. Congratulations to Del Barton and those two. And, not to take anything else from anywhere else. I know Dan Jones finished second. Tyler Vasquez finished second. They had a great show in there too as well. And Del Barton really showed, they're going to live up to the hype. My wife was making fun of me because in the video I said, Del Barton's future's so sunny, I got to wear shades. Well, let me tell you something. It's so damn bright. I need to put on some SPF 3000 because they're legit. I mean, it would be a shock. We're talking I'm going to date myself here, so some of you youngsters may have to Google this, but it's going to be a Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas type, upset, something along those lines. But congratulate Del Barton. Pope John finished 23rd. Carson Walsh placed third. I hope now after Carson places third, his mom realizes he's a good wrestler. Inside joke, she'll know what I'm talking about. Funny story I'll tell you here. We were down in Atlantic City last year, and when I see people with team names of teams I cover, I always like to just ask, oh, how do you know that person? Are you related? So we're walking through, my wife and I were walking through from Caesars, going to Wild West to go gamble a little bit and, be in the poorhouse. But as we're going, I see somebody with Pope John shirt, and I ask, oh, who are you? And she goes, oh, my son wrestles. I'm so nervous. And she's telling me about it. And I go, oh, who's your son? She goes, Carson Walsh. And I go, he's going to be okay. So as we're leaving, my wife had heard me do the videos earlier that year. We're walking. She goes, she knows her son's really good, right? I was like, yeah. So I tease. So congratulations to Carson. Hunterdon Central placed 35th. Hanover Park placing 82nd, and DePaul 130th. So, good job by them. Now, you can find everybody else's results on the perspective page. I just wanted to glance over a little bit and kind of talk about that. Now, let's head to the tournament that did this to my voice. Full disclosure, we were the Battle of Belleville. We were approached. I was, excuse me, about helping run the tournament. There was an issue last year. They started late, this and that. Jared, the podcasting legend, and I went down there, and not to toot our own horn, but toot. I think we did a great job. We were told we did a great job. We started on time. We had everything rolling. Jared had it on track. I was doing the announcing, for on decks and results. We flew through everything. We got it done. Had a little problem with some of the pigtails because you're guaranteed 2 matches. And then some of the brackets, there would be a third 3 people who only had 1 match. We figured it out. There was like a few, but we wound up figuring it out, ran it through. We're done, had a great time. The plan is to go back again, do it again. But that's kind of one of the things too. It was a little surprise. We didn't want to tell anybody yet, but I want to see how we did with the tournament. But we're open. GardenStateHSWrestling.com is, available for running tournaments. Jared helps with everything online. I'm there making sure everything's run correctly. So if you have a wrestling tournament, you want GardenStateHSWrestling.com to handle it for you and get it done, we will do it. Just email me. If you have my number, text me. We're open for business. This is one of the new little things we're adding to our repertoire and our services, because we love covering the wrestling. We love making sure it gets taken care of. And, being a part of the tournament was fun for me. I know Jared had fun too. We ran out of ink a little bit, so maybe next time have a printer with full ink. But, I really enjoyed it. Had fun announcing there. The only problem I had maybe was where the speakers were, because, I'm a loud guy. So when I would talk in, I'd get the feedback a little bit. But I digress. We had a wonderful time. And, thank you, Coach Luciani, and all the competing people there. Quick rundown of that. West Essex won the whole thing. Newton was second. Butler was 3. Wayne Hills 4. Those are the top 4 for there. Par Hills finished 7th, but Par Hills had 2 kids win. James McGinty took the title at 106, the babyface assassin, as I call him now. And his teammate, Tyler Costello, took 132. And then I know Butler did well. They had Jason Kuchowski win at 113 and Wyatt Fraley win at 150. And I know Pequannock had 2 champions as well. They had Lucas Wells win at 138 and Jimmy Dolan at 175. And then Wayne Hills, Matt Lehman at 285. And his teammate won at, I want to say it was 126. I am going to mispronounce his name, and I apologize. I butchered your name all weekend. So Waka Zai, I messed that up. And then Newton also had a winner as well, as at 157. Taylor Sibley's took that, and that wasn't really a shocker. Taylor's a really quality wrestler, and also, side note, was at my All-Star match last year, but I digress. So yeah, that was really fun. We enjoyed it. It was nice. It was actually nice in a sense from my point of view, because usually a little insight of when I go to a match. Usually I get there, I'll kind of check stuff out. Sometimes I don't get there till 7. It's just because you're running through a bunch of stuff in the morning and you do your stuff. And the only one I think in the last couple of years that I would whistle to whistle was when we live streamed the HWS last year. We were there all day, and then usually the Morris County tournament I would go to, and I'd be there Friday night, whistle to whistle, Saturday, whistle to whistle. But as far as regular tournaments, not really. So to kind of be there and, be in contact all week, have to get the brackets. We had nice brackets printed up on kind of like a poster board, like a thicker poster board. So the kids had a memento, stuff like that, getting that done and announcing and making sure everybody was on the match and doing it was interesting point of view, but I had fun and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's a new service we're going to be offering. And I think it'll be, something that everybody will love. Now, let's focus a little bit on the upcoming week. Now I know we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be doing a podcast. So we're going to be talking about from tomorrow, Monday if you're watching it now today. And we're going to be going to Christmas Eve. So I'm going to be talking about some matchups to keep an eye on. You kind of want to keep an eye on if you get out in the area and see. We're going to head to Tuesday in the Northwest Jersey Athletic Conference. Matchup I'm interested in seeing is Morris Hills, who won the national division last year, moves up to the American division, and will head to Mount Olive for a big test for them in the beginning of the year. I think Mount Olive should win it, but I give me an idea how Morris Hills is. I got some numbers and see how it translates, but I think that'll be an interesting matchup we want to look at. Freedom Division, Jefferson at Newton. The Freedom Division is always one of those. It doesn't matter who's wrestling who. You got to go check it out. Those teams it's almost like if you're a football fan and you like the NFC East, it always just, you just go watch those matchups because it's fun. Now, scrolling down, you're going to, as far as that there, I'd say those would probably be the bigger matches you'd want to look at. Now we head to the Wednesday. Couple matchups in the Big North, but one I really want to talk about, and one you can actually watch right here on GardenStateHSWrestling.com. We're going to be live streaming the Wayne Valley at Wayne Hills matchup. Battle of the Independence Division of Big North, Battle of Wayne, two coaches who, want to get at it, two teams who are very evenly matched this year. I think for the first time in a while where they're closer than a lot. Usually you get one that's really good, one that's you're not sure about. I think these teams are going to be really solid this year, and it's going to be interesting to see. And I'm going to be on the call, and it'll be a fun time. So we'll be out there covering that. Couple other ones that day you want to check them out. Ridge travels to North Hunterdon. Somerville travels to Warren Hills, and then Hunterdon Central travels to Voorhees. I think Hunterdon Central should win, but Voorhees should put up a good, really, really good bout. Then we had the Thursday. Usual matchups there. Morris Hills at Hanover Park. That'd be interesting to see. Madison at Mendham. That'd be a solid one. And Pequannock at Morristown. Couple of the matchups that you want to get out and check out if you're out there doing it. And another one, if you're out in Warren County, you don't want to come this far. Raritan and Warren Hills. You're talking about, two state finalists last year who could possibly be again this year battling at Warren Hills. Take the ride out there and check it out. I might just sneak out there and watch it, but you got to see what the wife says. We're going to probably have to do some Christmas shopping, but get that done. One we're definitely going to be covering though. We were talking about them a little bit. I'm going to be on the call for Phillipsburg at Mount Olive. Nice Friday night matchup there on December 23rd. We're going to be live streaming that right here on GardenStateHSWrestling.com. We're going to settle it on the mat, apparently, just because for a lot of people who, like I said, are maybe tuning in for the first time, there's a lot of debate over who the best non-public team was last year, or the best public team in the state last year. There was a camp that thought Phillipsburg. There was a camp that thought Mount Olive. I put up my reasoning, and it's on the site there. If you scroll down, you look through, some of our posts, my whole criteria for what I picked was there. So that's kind of how I went by it. I thought it was Mount Olive, but there was other people disagree. So there's going to be no more of the, oh, well, we're better, we beat this. There's no need for a common opponent. You're wrestling each other. You're going to be out there. We're going to find out who's best. Another one on Friday. If you get a chance to check it out and you're up in Passaic County, the Greg Kochaki Holiday Duels. You got Kinnelon, Kittatinny, Wayne Valley, West Milford. Should be nice little match there. Go check it out if you're in the area. We're going to be doing. We're also going to be doing very aggressive with our live stream. When I tell you how much we have going on, we're going to be doing a lot. So just kind of a little primer. In addition to those two, we're doing the Peaburg at Mount Olive and the Wayne Valley at Wayne Hills. Next week, I know I said we were just going to talk till Saturday, but depending on when we get everything done with the podcast with Christmas and everything, we're going to have Tuesday, the 27th. We're going to be calling the finals of the John Goals tournament again this year. You're going to be doing that. Wednesday, the 28th, we're going to be heading up to Kittatinny. We're going to be calling the finals of the Cougar Classic. That'll be nice. I think we're going to also, and I'm going to say it on the podcast, but I'm going to check and make sure. So we'll put it in the post. I am 99% sure it's going to be finals on one mat, third place on another. We're going to be calling the finals with commentary. We're going to have a camera on the third place constellations with no commentary, but you'll be able to watch that as it goes. And we're going to try to angle it. I think they have a table. I'm not sure if they have a table. I haven't been up there in a couple of years. If they have a table, they do the score, or if it's a scoreboard on the wall. If it's a table, we'll try to set the camera up so you get the score as you're watching it. If not, we'll just try to figure out something if we can in regards to that. And then I'm heading back to Mount Olive on the Friday 30th. Warren Hills is coming to town. Warren Hills and Mount Olive, big matchup. I'm in Mount Olive 2 weekends on a Friday. I mean, it's fun, but we'll see how everything goes. I'm really like that matchup. I think it's gonna be another one. And special thank you for those 2 Mount Olive matches to Market Tavern and the Marketplace. They are sponsoring our coverage, and they're bringing us in, and they really like what we're doing. They kind of, in talking to them, they said, we're the ones they want to deal with. They think we're the premier wrestling podcast and live streamer. So thank you to them. And we're going to be bringing you those matchups. And then there's only one quad on the 31st, North Warren Bayonne and Hopewell Valley at Ridge. If you're just looking for something to do on the, New Year's Eve, check it out. But that's going to be that. So, I mean, especially like I said, this year with our coverage, except for the first week, I think we're going to be we're just waiting on final approval. There is a girls dual meet that is going to be happening at North Hunterdon. I will not be on the call, but we will have a great group of people on the call there. It's going to be from what right now, I'm not going to give away names because I want to confirm, but we are going to have a former wrestler from North Hunterdon and a former wrestler from Newton. They're going to be on the call with my main man, Shane. And then we are going, when we come back, I'm going to be away because I have some personal business to take care of that week. But when we come back, when the 9th kicks on, we are loaded with matchups and some big ones. And I'm not just talking about one more. So looking at the schedule real quick, we're hitting Warren County, Hunterdon County, Morris County. Then we're dipping back out to Warren County. Then we're up at Passaic County. I mean, we're hitting so many, it's ridiculous. But just stay tuned. Keep your eye out. Jared's running the Twitter machine, so we'll get some stuff out, some posts, and we'll get everything rolling with that. But I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. Great first week. I'm very impressed with what I see. My first set of rankings for the standings page for each county are up. We're going to kind of be redoing the layout of that standings page, but they're up now. We'll get them going. But before we wrap this up, I just wanted to wish everyone who's come up, said hello to me, who's, come up and told me how much they appreciate my stuff, or sends me messages, or subscribes. Please subscribe to the YouTube. It's big for us. So please subscribe to the link down here, YouTube, or Jared will post it at the end on there. Maybe I just point it for no reason like an idiot. But thank you for all the kind words and the feedback and everything, like I said, with the videos. But if it wasn't for the fans, it wasn't for what we're doing, I wouldn't be able to do this, what I love. So from me, my wife, my family, to you and yours, a Merry Christmas, a safe Christmas, an enjoyable Christmas, but Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate, happy holidays. And just know that I appreciate, and we'll see it when we get back on Matt next week. Enjoy this time with family. But for Jared, the podcasting legend, I'm Donald J. Brower. We'll see you next time.